What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this video here, we're going to be doing another Galactus video, and we're taking Sentinel, or Nimrod in this case, against Galactus to see how he does. I was curious to see, after I got him to level 70, how he would do in GBR. Just like I do with pretty much all of my characters I get at level 70, I like to try them out in GBR just to see if they can do it. Whether they fail miserably or not, I still like to see just because. Some of them have surprised me, so yeah, that's kind of why I continue to do this. So here's his build. We have only 22 on his gears here. For his skills, we have everything leveled up except for the first skill here. For the ISO 8 set, we have Power of Angry Hulk. It is a 6-star set, so just stage 6, not fully awakened. For his custom gear, I ended up putting a CTP of Greed on him. I thought this CTP worked really well on him when I was testing him out in the APK. This was the one that I was most impressed with, even after trying both Rage, Energy, and Destruction on him. CTP of Greed still kind of stood out to me as one of the kind of better options. It kind of did everything, and the damage was still really good with it, so that's kind of why I went with Greed on him. Works really well, helps in both PvE and PvP, so a great option for Nimrod here. Let's see if we move over to the details. You can see we have almost max attack speed. Our crit rate is, it's okay, a little less than 50%. Our crit damage is pretty sad. Our ignore defense is close enough to max. Same with our skill cooldown, so I could do a little bit more work in those two. Put on like one Uru for ignore defense and skill cooldown to get those maxed out, and then he'll be good to go. And for his uniform here, I still just have it at normal because I haven't gotten any biometrics for Nimrod. Oh, I do have some biometrics. Get him up one level, but I don't have Captain America's team suit, of course. So don't know how much that'll help me out. So yeah, that's what Nimrod's looking like here. So let's go ahead and hop into the fight against Galactus and see how he did. Alright, so here we are loading into the fight. We've got two random teammates to help us out here. We've got one with a tier 3 Captain America, one with a tier 3 Magneto, but he's going to be using his cable here to be doing most of the damage. And for us, we have Ebony Maw for leadership, and then we have Mystique for her tier 2 passive. So for Nimrod here, since we have a CTP of Greed, I don't really have to worry about timing a damage proc, or even actually lining up with like an activation from like a CTP of Greed or anything like that, because, or CTP of Greed, the CTP of Rage, because the CTP of Greed just has its own built-in timer. It just activates on its own timer. It doesn't require you to land any hits or take any hits or anything like that. So you can just pretty much spam your skills and hope that it kind of lines up for you. So that's what we do here for Nimrod. I just use the third skill for the kind of buff and accumulation, I believe it has. And then the fourth skill, generally use that one to get the all defense down, but of course that doesn't apply here to GBR. It's for Galactus or Master Mold. And then we hop into the fifth skill for the damage. So this fifth skill is going to be where all the damage is at, and that can actually hit quite hard because, contrary to what you're seeing here, Nimrod does very, very good damage in War Boss Ultimate, in Shadowland, and he's even super strong in PvP as well. He can still kill even those hard to kill characters. He can kill Thanos, he can kill Jean Grey. You just need to kind of line up the fifth skill quite nicely, and boom, it'll just like one-shot a lot of characters. But apparently that's not really translating over here. I don't know if it just doesn't have really high raw damage, if he relies a lot on the all defense down, or what. But he's just not hitting Galactus very hard. And even with my current build here on Nimrod, when I take him into War Boss Ultimate, he does very well there. He can do really high stages in War Boss Ultimate. And I just realized that we don't have two random teammates for this when I clicked that open. I actually have Gringo in here helping out. I had completely forgot about that. For most of these videos, I just have random teammates, so I didn't even look at the names. I just like, we have a random teammates here. But no, actually Gringo's in here helping us out. So that's who's using the cable, is Gringo. I forgot about that. I don't remember what his cable has on it. I think he only had a regular obelisk. I don't even think he put a CTP of energy on his cable. But anyway, this is about Nimrod here. So we're trying to get a little bit more damage in here with Nimrod. And actually, one thing that I don't like about Nimrod's skill rotation, or just one of his skills in general, is the fourth skill. Yes, the fourth skill is fantastic. It gives you that all defense down. It goes up to, what, minus 75%, the second highest that you can get on just a single skill. So that's, you know, super good. But I don't know if it's just me and my devices here, like my phone and my iPad, but if I touch anywhere on the screen, it doesn't even have to be the joystick. Like, even touching like the top corner of the screen, it cancels the fourth skill. It doesn't matter where I touch on the screen, it will cancel the fourth skill. It doesn't matter if I'm touching the joystick, if I'm like tapping a little too close to like the settings thing, if I tap the boss's health bar, it cancels his fourth skill, and it's very irritating. So when I use a fourth skill, I literally have to take my fingers away from my device. I gotta move my fingers up and not touch the screen until the fourth skill is ended. And I'm not really sure why it's like that, if that's a bug or what, but yeah, the fourth skill, it gets canceled out so easily, and I just accidentally do that so often, and then I lose a lot of damage because that all defense down, man, it applies at the very end of the skill. So if you tap your screen at any time in between that, then you're not going to get that all defense down, and that's quite annoying. If I use any of his other skills, I can hold the joystick, I can tap the screen wherever I want, and you know, nothing happens. The skill continues like it should. But no, the fourth skill, it's got a mind of its own. It's very temperamental. The fourth skill just doesn't want to play out. It doesn't want to activate. It's like that teenager that you tell to do chores. You tell them to do it, and then if you walk away, it's not getting done. If you tell them to do it, and then you stare at them, you watch them go, you're like, you're doing this now. Then you get them to do it. But you got to keep an eye on them. Same thing with the fourth skill here. You got to keep an eye on it, so to speak, because it's kind of the opposite. Because you touch the screen, the fourth skill stops. So it's almost like you want to look away when using the fourth skill. But anyway, what I'm trying to get at here is the fourth skill. Super easy to get interrupted or cancel from you, and not just from your opponent that you're fighting, whether it be a world boss or in this case Galactus. So yeah, like I said, let me know if that happens to you guys as well, or if that's just kind of unique to me here and I have something going on with my phone and my iPad, which I guess I wouldn't really be surprised about. But anyway, what are we doing here? We're about halfway through the fight, and we're actually kind of close to halfway in Galactus's health bars as well, because when we get to 50, that's like the halfway mark, so kind of close. Or is it 40? Whoops, I might be a little off there. It might be 40. I've always forget this. You know, I play these game modes all the time, and for some reason I just draw a blank when I try to remember the exact value or exact numbers of where I'm supposed to be at certain times while playing the fight. Oh, too bad we are in the bubble, Galactus. You're not going to get us here, and I'm still going to use a fifth skill. Yeah, look at that. Take that. Define you and your... Oh, the other guy left. Captain Blonde Bomb? What was that? That was a weird name. I didn't even notice what it was. Caught my eye for a second there. But anyway, we should probably skip ahead a little bit here. We have 4 minutes left, and we do end up timing out on this. So let's skip ahead to a little bit closer to the end of the fight, and then we can see how Nimrod did here against Galactus. Alright, so we're down to the last minute here. And as you can see, he still has 33 health bars, so the damage slowed down quite significantly from what it was at the start, because it was actually looking like we'd be a lot closer to actually beating him if you went by like the first, I don't know, 4 minutes of the fight or something like that. But these last 6 minutes have been very, very slow. So, alright, 30 seconds left. We're going to get him down to maybe like 28 bars or something like that. Maybe not even that. Look at that. That's not even moving. Come on, Nimrod. Put in work here. You can do it. Do some damage. Get him below 30. Yes. Alright. Can we get below 29? Come on. 10 seconds. You can do it. There we go. Alright, so that was about right. 28 bars. And then we'll finally see what the actual final value is for Nimrod here. How much of that damage did Nimrod actually do? Galactus doing his little victory roar here, and only 14 million. So yeah, that's not even close to enough damage to be able to do Galactus, or at least pull your own weight in the Galactus fight here. If you're getting carried, then of course you can do any amount of damage if you're getting carried. But yeah, that's not enough, because like 23 million is kind of the cutoff, like the lowest I'll accept for doing a third of the damage, like 23 million. I generally would like to even see more than that, but 23 is kind of where it needs to be. And Nimrod didn't even get close to that. So yeah, he's pretty much just going to be for PvP, well, pretty much for everything else except for DBR. He's going to be good in PvP, World Boss Ultimate, Shadowland. He's also a very, very strong striker as well. One of the best strikers because his all defense down adds up so quickly. It was like minus 30 or something like that per hit. So after just a couple hits from his all defense down, boom, you're already maxed out at the minus 75%. So that makes him a really, really good striker. So he's got that going for him. So he's got plenty of stuff going for him outside of GBR. So just because he did bad here doesn't mean that Nimrod's a bad character. It's actually kind of the opposite. He's actually a really good character. If you don't have Sentinel, I would definitely get him and then pick up this uniform because he will do work for you. Just give him White Fox leadership, give him Dr. Voodoo leadership, and he'll be pushing some pretty high stages for you in World Boss Ultimate. But this is about Galactus, and for Galactus, I would say don't bother using him here. Just stick with a leadership if you need it for like master molds for the debuff leadership. That's probably the only way that he's going to be getting used, or if he's a bonus character and you're having one of your other characters carry. But that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.